Hey, welcome to the Easy Computer Fixes channel, and today we are going to have a fix for your battery life in iOS 7. And by fix I mean we'll have the top tips and tricks for better battery life, simple ways that you can apply yourself so that you will have a better battery life on your iPhone. Lots of conflicting reports, but the majority of people tend to say that they have less battery life. One of the problems with that is the fact that when iOS 7 started, most people probably played more with their phones. So it does drop battery life. So is it really true or not? Personally, I haven't found any differences. I actually find it either the same or even a little better actually. So it depends on everyone. It probably depends on the usage, but it also depends a lot on the settings in your phone. So if you have an iPhone that was updated to iOS 7, that's an iPhone 4, 4S, 5, 5C, and 5S, then you can apply these simple tricks and tips that will just make battery life a little better throughout your day. For example, if you're missing out on battery throughout the day, this is a quick tip. So first tip is turning off background app updates. Now, a cool feature of iOS 7 is the fact that in the background your apps can be updated, and so you never see that little number here in the App Store that says, oh, you have 5 apps that need updating, so click here so you can update them. So it's a cool feature because you never have to apply that, and a lot of people find it annoying. So if you really find it annoying to update yourself the apps, then keep it on. But if you don't mind updating your apps manually, then you can actually go into the settings and change that. So first tip, go into your settings, go into the iTunes and App Store and turn off updates right here and turn off apps right here. If you do that, what will happen is that your selection will not be updated automatically. You'll start seeing that little number as you see here on the App Store. Now I've got a little red number that says that I've got 3 apps that need updating now. So instead of updating by themselves when you're on Wi-Fi, you'll have to do it manually. But this is one tip that will save some battery life, because by having it automatically, what happens is your phone constantly goes and checks for updates. So that little data that is used because it checks for updates will drain your battery down. So that's the first tip that you can apply. Second tip that you can apply is AirDrop. Now, you might have noticed that in the control center at the bottom of your phone, when you slide up, there's something called AirDrop. And AirDrop can be turned on or off, and I suggest that you keep it off. AirDrop, if you're not using it, please turn it off. But keep in mind that if you're plugged into your Wi-Fi or Bluetooth, AirDrop might turn on automatically. So if you don't want to just turn it off, AirDrop constantly looks around for other iPhones and iPads and iOS devices that it can drop files and stuff on it. So one thing's for sure, you should really turn off AirDrop to make sure that there's no battery drain because of this feature. And just turn it on when you need it. We don't AirDrop every day actually, so I think it's really a good feature to turn off and just turn it on when we need it. Now, another tip is turning off the parallax effects. You might have noticed that when you have a background that has, for example, my background doesn't have any features, so if I move the phone, it doesn't really show. But if you have a background that's has a lot of texture on it. You might notice that when you're actually moving your phone, the background moves, the icons seem to float or move over. This is the parallax effect. And that is a feature that actually uses battery because it makes the iOS, well, the iPhone processor and graphics processor work more than it should. So turning off the parallax, which will also affect probably the apps moving in a 3D style, will probably help you. So you go into your settings, go into the accessibility in your settings, so general accessibility, and there you'll see something that says reduce motion. Now if you have an iPhone 4, 4S, it's probably not there, but if you got an iPhone 5, 5C or 5S, you'll see reduce motion. Just click on that and turn on reduce motion. That will prevent the effects from actually working, and your iPhone will not have that background that moves 3D style. So that will save battery when you're using your iPhone actually. Another feature that you might want to play with is the brightness of your screen. The brightness is very, very important in battery life. The brighter your screen, the less battery you'll have. And it's probably one of the most energy saving mode that you can put on is, first of all, go into your settings, and in your settings just go into wallpaper and brightness. First, I would say turn off auto brightness. Why? Because auto brightness is a nice feature. It adjusts your phone brightness depending on the light around you. Problem is, it often gives you too much light or too much screen brightness when you're outside. If you're looking at your phone and you're outside in the sun, your brightness will be at maximum because it sees that it's really, really bright and it needs to bump up that brightness. But even with a brightness that is much less apparent, in full sunlight you can still read most of what your iPhone has. So you can see the icons, you can still read the texts. So I suggest auto brightness put off, but adjust your setting for a brightness that is okay for you, but not too bright. Because the brighter your screen, the brighter you'll put that screen here, the less battery you'll have. So try to put it somewhere where it's less bright and but still readable and okay for you. I put it a little more than half usually. I enjoyed this type of brightness. So turning off auto brightness, adjusting the brightness yourself, that is something that you can do. And if you're in a environment that is really dark and you work all day in an environment that can, I can actually use this brightness, and this will really extend your battery life because you use less power for the lighting. So play with that brightness, put it the lowest possible, and you'll be able to save battery off of that. Other features that you can do also is turn off everything you don't need. So for example, you're outside, you're not connecting to any Wi-Fi network. First thing you should do is turn off your Wi-Fi when not needed. When you're out of the house, most of the time that Wi-Fi is not necessary. So that's one thing you can do, is turn off the Wi-Fi. Another feature that you can do is not only turn off the Wi-Fi, but if you don't use Bluetooth, make sure it's off. Bluetooth and Wi-Fi are power hogs. They're radio devices, they emit signals, they check for other devices, they check your Wi-Fi, checks for routers around you, Wi-Fi signals, and so it really gobbles a lot of power. So that's one thing that you might want to change here. Another tip for battery saving is the location services, the location settings. So you might use GPS, or you might use location services for something like Google Maps, yeah, that makes sense, and that is pretty good. But it's not essential on all apps. So what you can do is just go into your settings. When you're in your settings, go into what's called privacy. And in your privacy tab, you have, of course, the location services. When it's not needed, turn it off. By turning it off, your apps won't know where you are anymore, but it's still going to know part of where you are if you try to locate from time to time. But you see, for example, my Google Maps cannot use its service because it doesn't know where I am now. So turn it off if you don't use any maps features and stuff like that. You know, when you're on Facebook, you don't really need your Facebook app to tell everyone that you're this part of town or this part of town. Doesn't matter. And most apps, you don't really care where you are. So when you don't need it, turn it off. And if you need it, for example, for Google Maps, it's going to tell you it's off and you need to put it back on. Location services is really, really cool, but unfortunately, it really, really makes, sorry for the phone here, I have no control, and my bird that's going crazy. So your location services is something that gobbles a lot of power, because everywhere you go, every app you use will try to identify where you are by scanning around you the signals, using the GPS, stuff like that. So this is something you can turn off also. So that's about it, and I would say that will be pretty much the best features that you can turn on or off to make the settings just right for a better battery life. And hopefully these tips and tricks will help you have a better day in your iPhone life. As we all know, if everything you did still doesn't give you what you want, you still have the possibility, like in my case here, I have a battery case that I put my iPhone 5 in. That is basically a battery. And so I can't really do a full day, even with all these tips and tricks that I just gave you. I can't really make a full day out of my iPhone. So this battery case actually gives me the power I need, and if I need a charge, I just press that little button in the back. If everything fails, that's the only way you can go. But try these tips and tricks that I just gave you. I think these are probably some of the best to keep your battery running as long as possible on your iPhone. Hope you enjoyed the videos. If you do, please subscribe to our channel and give us thumbs up. And if you have any comments or questions, maybe you have a feature, maybe a problem or something you'd like us to talk about, let us know. We'll try to do a video and help you. You'll be helping others at the same time. And hope you come back to the Easy Computer Fixes channel. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.